So we're installing a kitchen today, upper cabinets, base cabinets. If there's one thing I like to think about whenever I'm installing a kitchen or doing a project like this, it's about being efficient, being organized, and being careful. And one of the things for me that helps me save steps is saving steps. Kitchen cabinets, for example, come with screws, and they're fine. They work pretty well. But I'm in the SPAX system. So my deck screws, my drywall screws, my basement remodeling screws are all SPAX. So the first step I save is I abandon those and I grab some SPAX. I'll use a 3-inch or a 2.5-inch wafer head for the upper cabinets and the base cabinet connections, and I'll use 2.5 bugle heads for the face frame connections. So we're going to show you that I'm using the screw both to save time and as sort of a tool to keep you going. And so you're referenced on what we're referenced on. This is where we're starting. We've got our laser line to register level. It's not high or low, it's just level. We've measured up to the bottom of our upper cabinets. We measured down to the top of our base cabinets. And we found the highest spot in the floor. This is new construction, so it's not huge, but if you're working in an old house, the difference between here and there could be inches. So we got our screws, we got our tools, all the cabinets are unboxed. It's time to get going and get this kitchen installed. I'm snapping a line for my ledger board. Some carpenters like to set the base cabinets first, others the uppers first. Some set them just to a line. I like to use a ledger, and it also shows me if I've got any lumps or bumps in this wall, which I do have a hollow in here, and the screw is with me from the beginning, because if I do this alone, I need 3 hands and to be 12 feet long, and we all know nobody's shaped like that. So I've found out 2 or 3 things by doing one thing. And bang. Okay, the first upper that gets set in this kitchen and registers all our plumb lines going right and going left is the corner cabinet, the corner upper. In this particular type of cabinet, what we're going to do here is transfer the stud location from the wall to the top of the cabinet, like so, and then we're going to bring it over here so that we can pop a cabinet screw right through here, minimizing our time spent inside the cabinet. The challenge with coming off of this cabinet is we've got to get this line tight and this bottom flush. And in order to do that, we've had to wiggle and finagle a little bit. And the way we've done that is we've done 2 opposing shims like this up in here, gotten it clamped where we want it, and we're going to take a screw and tighten it all together right in here. More than one way to skin a cat. So I'm going to stop here for a second because I want to register everything that we're doing. Just like the upper cabinets, the lower cabinets are your layout mark. And Craig has gotten this plumb in this direction, level in this direction, plumb in this direction. And so we don't either damage or otherwise move the cabinet body. We know that we can take this screw, this pan head cabinet screw, and trust me, I've seen plenty of kitchens hung by black drywall screws. Not good. We can take this, snug it up just exactly where we need it, and then we can build off of that for our other base cabinets. Okay, so there is a couple of things going on here all at the same time, typical of every kitchen I've ever installed. We're trying to stay flush with these face frames is the first thing, and the face frame clamps we used on the upper cabinets don't fit. So this is sort of a gateway to talk about a bunch of things. You've got clamps to improvise. Do you need to pre-drill with SPAX screws? Not necessarily. However, they're great screws, but they're not magic. So rather than take a chance with a hardwood face frame, we do a pilot hole with an 1/8 inch bit. And then, to be double extra secret, we dab a little wax on it. With other screws I've used, I know they squeak and squeal and scream going into hardwood. These don't, wax or not. And this is a good place to also talk about process. The reason that I want to talk about process is it's about the way you work and the way you save time or use your time. I've got all my screws as the SPAX screws with the T-Star Plus drive. So I'm not going back and forth between square drive and Phillips head and this screw and that screw. And I've got all the lengths I need because these face frames are different. So this, I went to my screw box, got the tubes out, and we're ready to go to lock and rock these together. Now, if I can only find the pilot hole, it's under the clamp. Okay, here we go. Sometimes the efficiency I'm looking for comes in the negative space. Things I can't see, but I've definitely experienced. So for example, here, I'm going to set this screw from this opening into this cabinet using a right angle drill. Now, I can't count how many times this has happened to me, but when I need to get this bit out of this bit holder with screws that I've really had to pound on and torque hard with the fastener tool, it doesn't come out, it's frozen in there. The SPAX screws drive easily. That thing popped out and you can't make it up. I can put the driver head in here. That's in there like that. And then I can drive this screw dead straight. One and done. Now we're back in business. Rock and roll. So is using one kind of screw going to change your entire life dramatically? No, of course not. What we're talking about here when we do kitchens, remodeling, and other things is process. And for me, it's not about saving an hour. It's about saving 5 seconds. But 5 seconds here, 5 seconds there. A brain cell here, some bandwidth. It's like working clean. If you have a big mess all over the floor, you have to spend your time stepping over things. If you, for example, have a process where no trash hits the floor, it always goes into a basket or a bucket, that means you never have to touch it again. Time saved, money earned.